Thanks, Steve. Welcome back to Oran Park Raceway for race 2 of the Suzuki GTi Cup. With me in commentary, Greg Rust. And Greg, this really does promise to be a great 8-lapper.
It certainly does. Phillip Scifleet's got pole position courtesy of his win in the first race. On the outside of him, Warren Luff. From row 2, Andrej Pavicevic. And out of 4, the talented karter, Clarke. From 5, it's Ric Shaw, and another karter out of 6, Damian White.
Yes, kart racing well and truly represented. Oh, a nice tidy start. Have a look at Luff, diving to the left-hand side of the track, trying to protect his line. He came out of position 2. Scifleet, out of pole, heads them down into the left-hander. Remember, this is the point score race. 8 laps of GTi action, $40,000 worth of prize money available nationally for this particular class of racing. They're all Suzuki GTIs, 1 through 32 as they head down to the left-hander, and it is Pavicevic who has managed to come out of the pack and head them down into the Foster's Dip and onto Momo, the far side. Have a look at Andrej Pavicevic sideways as he heads into Momo, and it looks to me as if Scifleet was back in second. Then it was Luff up there as well, Ric Shaw up there as well. This is an amazing situation. These guys are serious. There's a lot of money on the line.
I tell you what, hasn't that certainly changed the attitude of the drivers? They are using all of the track and then some. There's plenty of dust flying, so these guys are out for the cash. They're into it.
Yep, we really do have sheep stations on the line for this one. Pavicevic settles himself in. Now, this is what Pavicevic couldn't do in the last race. He just couldn't get clean air and settle himself into the drive. What he does have to do is just make sure he stays out of all of the dramas going on behind him. Scifleet under some real pressure now. That's Simpson in behind him. Now here's a new player to the field. That's car 12, and he's obviously looking to move himself a little further forward. As we've said, this is the point scoring race. This is where the money really counts. Ric Shaw, he's giving it all he possibly can, just ahead of Simpson at the moment. And have a look at the dust being kicked up by these guys. There's a lot of agricultural work going on out there just at the moment as Shaw tries to battle his way a little further forward. It is Pavicevic, Scifleet, along with just a whole host of these guys all trying to move a little further forward. Right at the moment, Simpson's doing himself a nice job though. He's sitting in 3rd place. Ric Shaw's up there as well. Luff has found himself bundled back through the field. Have a look at the dust, and there's a few marks on the side of Simpson's car. I'd say he's been working pretty hard out there. The Kumho tyres showing that they've got traction up and down the doors into the bargain. Everyone out there on equal equipment, everyone out there on equal tyres. This is a fantastic way to show that you've got the skill, you've got the talent. And right at the moment, Pavicevic's having himself a tough time out there. Ric Shaw round the outside, all the way around. That is a long, long way. Here he is, he's going to have the right line down to the Foster's Dip. What happens here? Well, Simpson round outside of him as well. Simpson through the dirt. Have a look at this for some action out here at Oran Park. Absolutely amazing. Shaw comes back at him. Simpson and Shaw, these guys are swapping paint, they're swapping emblems, they're certainly swapping sponsor brands out there at the moment. This is fantastic action. The best race we've had here. Michael Simpson in 2nd place. This is the best race we've had here at Oran Park for a long time. Plenty of action, plenty of fun. Have a look at the understeer as Simpson tries to get the thing to turn in onto the straight here. And there is a gaggle of cars behind him. Rusty, this really is exciting racing.
It certainly is, and can you believe the different lines that some of these drivers are trying to take? Watch them as they come down the main straight here at Oran Park now. I can see Luff wanting to slip to the inside. In fact, here he goes now. He's popping up on the inside of car 22, which is, of course, Phillip Scifleet. Could he do it? Didn't look like it on that occasion.
Well, he certainly had a good go at it. There's, another contact there a little further upfield. And here we go. That's Scifleet out of the game. Pedal to the metal, he says, not likely. I'm going to get on with this. He said, hopefully no one saw it. Well, we've all seen it. It was a nice save from him. It's bumped him back. He's out of the big money and the points. But needless to say, I think he'll settle himself in, probably knock himself around later for having done it. But that was contact. Couldn't do too much about it. But he really is going to have to battle his way forward now. I think the flaggies must be getting tired waving the blue flag. That's signifying that there's some close racing going on around you. This is fantastic action. We always thought that the Suzuki GTi Cup had the potential to do this, to bring such a great class of racing to the spectators. And wouldn't you know it, the very first points race we've got is one of the best races I've seen for a long, long time. It is Scifleet, the man really now is going to have to work hard. He's a long way back. Have a look at this as they come down into the left-hander onto the straight. Now, just who is that as they're going to roll it back over? Tim Shaw, not the Demtel man. That is Tim Shaw, who has gone a long way towards getting his name on national TV, and he's worked very hard to do that. Unfortunately, I think that car will take no further part in today's action. Shaw is okay. You can see him moving around in the car. I'm not quite sure how that actually came to be, but he's okay. The car definitely second-hand. In fact, these guys are allowed 3 panels damaged in each race. I think he's probably used his entire season up as Pavicevic on the charge, leading this race, goes past the accident scene. The yellow flags will be out down there, Greg Rust. Obviously, these guys will just have to be careful through that section as they come onto the straight, though. Pavicevic looks cool, he's fast, and he's out in clear air, and that'll make a big difference. Yeah, he certainly will. He's certainly settling himself down into the job, which is really what he needed in the first race, but couldn't do it. So now he's out in front and doing a fantastic job of it. Here's Wayne Webster languishing back there in 9th place and coming under plenty of pressure from car number 30, and that is Toby Hagen, Will Hagen's young son. No respect for those Kumho tyres whatsoever. All 4 of them were locked up as he went down into the left-hander. Clarke on screen, and that's young Luff now. You see how hard he's... Has a look in the mirror, thinks, oh yeah, I can make my car a little bit wider as I head around the back here. And Rick picking up some of the tab on that one. And you can just see that they've all got the Kumho tyres, they've all got the Suzuki sponsorship on the cars, and then the rest of them have been out looking for their various sponsors. Oh, Luff, big lock up there on the inside. You can see how the car came in. It's very light on that side. Clarke trying to make advantage of it, and that's what the result was, that the inside tyre locks up. There's not a lot of weight on it, and it probably sounds atrocious, probably sounds a lot worse than it really is. For the last time, Andrej Pavicevic in control. This has been a textbook drive for him, so much tidier than the first race. And Ric Shaw, look at the damage on the side of that car. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, for 8 laps of racing, I don't think he did anywhere near that kind of damage in the rest of his entire career. But these guys, very serious. As I said, there's a lot of money, a lot of prestige. If you can fight your way to the front of the Suzuki GTi Cup, I think you should automatically get a Formula 1 driver's contract. Well, certainly should. I tell you what, this is a great way for the drivers to show their potential, and aren't they doing that here today at Oran Park Raceway? Simpson already showing the battle scars all over his Suzuki GTi, but the man out in front is Pavicevic. He's had a class race and led from start to finish virtually, Greg. He certainly has done a fantastic job. He didn't have it all his own way in the first race. Gee, he looks pretty happy about it too. Waving to the crowd. The crowd's going up. They've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it. Pavicevic, Simpson and Shaw. That's it. Race 2 for the Suzuki GTi Cup.